The ballroom glittered that evening with golden chandeliers and polished marble floors. It was the annual gala of business leaders, a place where wealth paraded itself in the form of tailored tuxedos, diamond necklaces, and loud laughter that reeked of pride. Expensive perfume filled the air. Waiters moved with trays of crystal glasses, and guests whispered behind their silk fans and sharp suits about who arrived with what car, who wore which brand, and who held the most influence this year. At the door, however, walked in a man who looked strikingly out of place. His shirt was simple, worn from years of washing. His trousers were plain, and his boots carried the dust of long journeys on unpaved roads. His hands bore the rough caluses of hard work, and his face carried the tan of the sun. He looked like a farmer, a man of the soil, a man who knew the weight of a plough better than the sparkle of a champagne glass. A group of wealthy businessmen by the entrance spotted him and immediately smirked. One whispered loudly, "Did someone let in the help?" Another chuckled, "Maybe he took the wrong turn. The village market is down the street, old man." A couple of young women in glittering gowns giggled as he passed, whispering about his cheap clothes. But the farmer did not react. His eyes were calm, steady, observant. He walked with a quiet confidence, as though none of their cruelty could shake him. What they didn't know, what not a single one of those mocking voices realized, was that this humble farmer, in his plain clothes, was not only the owner of vast lands but also the richest man in the entire country. His name was Ibrahim Khan, born in a small village where his parents tilled the soil to grow enough food for survival. Life had never been easy. He knew the taste of hunger as a child. He knew the pain of watching his mother stitch old clothes again and again just to make them last another year. He knew what it meant to study under the dim light of a lantern while listening to the cries of cattle outside. But Ibrahim was no ordinary soul. While others gave up on dreams, he held on to his. He worked on the farm every morning before school, and when his father passed away suddenly, leaving behind debts and barren land, Ibrahim took on the burden as a teenager. He sold milk, vegetables, even carried firewood just to keep his younger siblings alive. The villagers used to say, "This boy will never rise above his muddy boots." They mocked his shabby clothes and his endless determination. But Ibrahim smiled through it, because deep down he had a fire that no storm could put out. When Ibrahim turned 20, he borrowed money from relatives to buy better seeds, hoping to improve his family's farm. But one by one, they turned their backs on him when harvest season failed due to drought. Not only was he left penniless, but he was also burdened with heavy loans. Some laughed, saying, "The farmer's boy tried to play businessman. Look at him now, broken and crawling." That betrayal stung, but instead of giving up, Ibrahim doubled his efforts. He worked other people's fields during the day and his own at night. He saved every coin, never wasting on pleasures, never bowing down to despair. Years later, when his hard work started paying off and his land began producing in abundance, Ibrahim tried to enter the local market. But rich merchants dismissed him, laughing at his appearance. "You sell in our market," they scoffed. "Your hands stink of soil. Leave business to men who know the city." Ibrahim swallowed the insults, but he did not walk away. Instead, he built his own supply chain. He went directly to small towns, sold his crops at fair prices, and soon farmers began trusting him more than the greedy merchants. What started as one cart of produce grew into dozens of trucks carrying food across the country. As his business expanded, he faced another wall: corrupt officials who demanded bribes to allow his trucks to pass. He refused. "I will not feed the pockets of men who starve the poor," he declared boldly. Because of this, they tried to block his licenses, spread false rumors, and even sabotage his fields. But Ibrahim was clever. Instead of bowing to them, he invested in technology, irrigation systems, machinery, and modern farming practices. His farms became too large and too efficient to ignore. International companies came knocking on his door. Suddenly, the farmer they had laughed at was exporting food abroad, feeding nations, and becoming wealthier than those who had once insulted him. Now here he was, standing in the ballroom where men in suits whispered and mocked. They had no idea that the man in simple clothes controlled more land than their companies combined, that his net worth had quietly surpassed them all, and that the food they ate on their golden plates tonight probably came from his farms. As the evening went on, the host finally announced, "Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we honor the most successful entrepreneur in the country, a man whose contributions to agriculture have fed millions and whose wealth has now made him the richest citizen of our land. Please welcome Mr. Ibrahim Khan. The room fell silent. All the mockers froze, their smirks wiped clean as they saw the humble farmer step onto the stage. The same man they had ridiculed minutes ago was now standing under the spotlight, receiving applause from the nation. Some guests lowered their heads in shame, while others stared in disbelief. Ibrahim took the microphone and spoke gently. "You mock my clothes, my hands, my boots, but wealth is not in fabric or diamonds. True wealth is in patience, honesty, and hard work. I was born a poor farmer, but I never let insults break me. I stand here today not because I was lucky, but because I refused to give up. Remember this, never judge a person by their appearance. The soil that stains these hands is the same soil that feeds this nation." The entire hall erupted in applause. Even those who had mocked him earlier stood ashamed, realizing their arrogance had blinded them. Ibrahim Khan's story became a lesson for everyone who heard it. He continued to live simply, never showing off his wealth, but using it to build schools, hospitals, and opportunities for farmers across the land. His name became a symbol of hope, proof that no matter how humble your beginnings are, persistence and integrity can raise you higher than any mansion or luxury car. So, the next time you see someone in plain clothes, remember this story. Respect people not for what they wear, but for who they are. Friends, if this story touched your heart, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What lesson did you take from Ibrahim's journey? Please share your feelings in the comments below. Your words inspire us to create more such stories. And don't forget, this is just one of many powerful true to life tales we share here at Exposed Tales. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another inspiring story.